Hi everyone, welcome to the session of ECA, Electronic Circuit Analysis. So now we will discuss about the crystal oscillator. So this is one of the oscillator. By the use of crystal, we can also generate some type of oscillations. So how we can generate the oscillations? So we will discuss uh, this type that is crystal oscillator in this class. In previous session, we have seen that what is meant by Hartley oscillator, what is Colpitt's oscillator, what is the frequency of oscillation, and what is Clap oscillator, what is the frequency of oscillation, and what is the value of HFE. So how the conditions are satisfied in those oscillators. So those topics we have covered in previous session. So now we will see what is crystal oscillator. So here, the use of piezoelectric crystals or crystals provide high frequency stability in oscillators. So why we are using crystal oscillator means in order to get the high frequency stability, we are using crystal oscillators. So in the circuit, we are adding crystal. We can also call it as piezoelectric crystal. So to provide the high frequency stability. So such type of oscillators are known as crystal oscillators. So if we are using some piezoelectric crystals in the oscillators, those type of oscillators are called crystal oscillators. So normally the shape of the crystal is hexagonal. So the shape of the crystal is hexagonal. So when the crystal wafer is cut perpendicular to the x-axis, it is called x-cut. When it is cut along y-axis, it is called y-cut. So here, in order to construct a crystal oscillator or in order to develop a crystal oscillator, we are using a crystal. So normally the shape of the crystal is hexagonal, but we are cutting the crystal and by the use of two methods. One is X cut, another one is Y cut. So here, what is X cut? What is Y cut? So when the crystal wafer is cut perpendicular to x-axis, it is called X-cut. When the crystal is cut along y-axis, it is called Y-cut. Okay, so here this is the crystal. Normally the shape of the crystal is hexagonal. The shape of the crystal is hexagonal. So when we are placing this crystal into the circuit, here we should cut the crystal into by the use of two methods. That may be X-cut, that may be Y-cut. Okay, so here let us consider this is x-axis and this is y-axis. So if the crystal or wafer is cut perpendicular to x-axis, it is x-cut or else it is y-cut. So by cutting the crystal only, we are using or we are placing the crystal in the circuit. Okay, so this is the schematic symbol of the crystal. Normally, the available shape of the crystal is this shape, that is hexagonal shape. Okay, so here the crystals exhibits effect called piezoelectric effect. Crystals exhibits effect called piezoelectric effect. So the principle of crystal oscillators depends on that piezoelectric effect. So what is meant by piezoelectric effect? So piezoelectric effect is the crystal exhibits the property. It is a property. So when a mechanical stress is applied across one of the faces of the crystal, a potential difference or voltage is developed across the opposite faces of the crystal. And conversely, when the potential difference or voltage is applied across one of the faces of the crystal, a mechanical stress is produced along other faces. This is known as piezoelectric effect. So, piezoelectric effect means when we are providing some mechanical stress or when we are applying some mechanical stress to the crystal, a potential difference, that means a voltage, is developed across the crystal. When we are moving that or when we are providing the mechanical stress to the crystal, it provides some voltage or a potential difference produced across the crystal. And conversely, when we are applying some potential difference or voltage to the crystal, it that means mechanical stress is produced along other faces. That means crystal vibrates. So in the simple manner, we can also say that if mechanical stress is produced to the crystal, mechanical stress is applied to the crystal, it generates some voltage. And in reverse, if you apply some voltage to the crystal and mechanical stress is developed. Okay. So that is called piezoelectric effect. So the crystal exhibits this effect. Okay. So here, this is the circuit arrangement of a crystal. So that means when we cut the crystal into this shape, then that is placed between two plates like a capacitor. And here we are applying some voltage to this crystal and it produces a mechanical stress. Okay. Or in reverse, if you are producing some mechanical stress to the crystal, it generates some voltage across the other ends. Okay. So normally we are considering three types of crystals. We have three types of crystals or materials. First one, Rochelle salt. Second one, quartz. And third one, the tourmaline. So these three are the crystal materials we have. So which exhibits piezoelectric effect. So we know piezoelectric effect. So such materials are called as piezoelectric crystal because those materials exhibit piezoelectric effect. Okay. So in all these three materials, among all these three materials, we are using quartz only, quartz crystal only because quartz is the mostly used piezoelectric crystal because it is inexpensive. That means the cost is low and readily available in nature. Okay, it is easily available and it is also inexpensive compared to all other Rochelle salt and tourmaline. So that's why we are preferring quartz crystal in order to develop some crystal oscillators. Okay, so when a piezoelectric crystal is subjected to a proper alternating voltage, it vibrates mechanically. So here the point is when the crystal is subjected to some alternating voltage. That means when we are applying some voltage to the crystal, it vibrates mechanically. That means some mechanical stress is developed. That means it vibrates. And the amplitude of the vibrations or the amplitude of the mechanical vibrations of the crystal becomes maximum when the frequency of the alternating voltage is equal to the frequency of the crystal. So when we can get some maximum amplitude of the vibrations or maximum amplitude of the signal means when the frequency of the crystal or the frequency of the AC voltage which we are applying, it is equal to the frequency of the crystal, then only we can get the maximum amplitude of vibrations of the crystal. So that means let us consider the figure. So here we are applying some voltage to the crystal. This is piezoelectric crystal. If we are applying some voltage to the crystal, it vibrates. Or if it vibrates, or that means if you are applying some mechanical stress, it vibrates. If it vibrates, then it automatically generates some voltage. So this is a reverse process. Okay. So let us consider we are applying some voltage, potential difference to the crystal, then it vibrates. It vibrates. So when we can get some maximum oscillations or maximum amplitude of oscillations or maximum vibrations means when the frequency of this voltage is equal to the frequency of the crystal. When the frequency of AC voltage is equal to the frequency of the crystal, then only we can get the maximum amplitude of vibrations of the crystal. Okay. So next, working of quartz crystal. So in order to make a crystal work in the electronic circuit, the crystal is placed between two metal plates in the form of capacitor. Already we have seen that. So this is the shape of the original shape of the quartz or crystal. So we are not going, that means here this is not placed in the circuit as. So here this quartz crystal is cut into this shape. That means in the rectangular shape. So by the use of X cut or Y cut. So then only this crystal is placed between two metal plates like a capacitor. Okay. So this is the schematic symbol of the crystal and this is the original shape of the crystal. Okay. So that is in order to make the crystal work in the electronic circuit, the crystal is placed between two metal plates when it is cut into the required shape. Okay. Next, quartz is the mostly used type of the crystal. Already we know because of its availability and because of its strong nature and because of the inexpensive, that means the cost of the quartz is also low. So that's why we are preferring the quartz crystal. So the AC voltage is applied to the crystal. Let us consider if an AC voltage is applied, the crystal starts vibrating at the frequency of the applied voltage. However, if the frequency of the applied voltage is equal to the frequency of the crystal, then we can get the maximum oscillations. We know, and that is called resonance. That is, resonance takes place, and the crystal vibrations reach a maximum value. This natural frequency is almost constant. So in previous oscillators, we have seen the frequency of oscillation. What is meant by frequency of oscillation? That is the frequency at which we can get the maximum amplitude of oscillation. So in the crystal oscillator also, when we can get the maximum amplitude of oscillations means when the AC voltage frequency which we are applying is equal to the crystal frequency, then we can get the maximum amplitude of oscillations or vibrations, and that is called resonance. That is called resonance, and this frequency is almost constant. So this is the figure which represents the circuit arrangement of crystal oscillator. So here we have the crystal. So here we are using crystal in the circuit. That's why this circuit is known as crystal oscillator. So when we get the oscillations or when we get the maximum vibrations of the crystal means when the AC voltage in the circuit is equal to the crystal, that means the frequency of the voltage is equal to the frequency of the crystal, then we can get the maximum vibrations or maximum amplitude. That frequency is constant. So next, equivalent circuit of a crystal. So when we draw the equivalent circuit of a crystal, so or if you try to represent the crystal with an equivalent circuit, electric circuit, we have to consider two cases. That is when it vibrates and when it does not vibrate. So here this is the symbol of the crystal. We know the crystal is placed between two metal plates. Okay, and this arrangement is placed, that means it is packaged in two metal plates. After that only it is used in the circuit. And if it is the symbol of the crystal, this is the equivalent circuit of the crystal. This is RLC circuit, RLC circuit, and parallel with some capacitance. Okay, this is the equivalent circuit of the crystal. So when we consider the equivalent circuit, here we have two cases. One is when the crystal vibrates. Another one is when it does not vibrate. So the above equivalent circuit consists of series RLC circuit in parallel with capacitance CM. Okay, when the crystal mounted across AC source, across the AC source is not vibrating, it is equivalent to the capacitance CM. So when we are placing the crystal in the circuit and the crystal is not vibrating, when the crystal is not vibrating, then the AC source, that means the crystal mounted, when the crystal mounted across the AC source is not vibrating, then it is equivalent to the capacitance. That means this crystal is equivalent to this capacitance here. And when it vibrates, that is when the crystal vibrates, it is equivalent to this circuit, that is RLC circuit. So when the crystal vibrates, it acts like tuned RLC circuit. Here we have two cases. One is if the crystal is not vibrating, then it is equivalent to the CM capacitance. When the crystal vibrating, it is equivalent to the RLC circuit. Okay, it acts like RLC circuit. And next, coming to the frequency response. So if you draw the frequency response of a crystal, here we have two types of graphs. So the graph shows the reactance XL or XC versus frequency. So here we have frequency on x-axis and on y-axis XL reactance on the above, that is in the positive direction, or in the negative direction we have capacitive reactance. That is on the y-axis we have XL and XC values. So it is evident that the crystal has two resonant frequencies, two closely spaced resonant frequencies. If you observe the figure, we have two frequencies. One is Fs, one is Fp. We have two resonant frequencies, Fs and Fp. Okay, so we can also call it as series and parallel resonance. Fs is series, Fs and Fp are also called as series and parallel resonant frequencies. So one resonant condition occurs, that means Fs, series resonant frequency occurs when the reactance of the series RLC leg are equal, that is XL equal to X. So when we get this response, means when the reactance of series RLC leg, that is when XL equal to X, when the reactance of inductor, that is when this inductor reactance is equal to the capacitor reactance, when XL equal to XC, then we can get the series resonant frequency. So this is nothing but the series resonance. So the impedance offered by this branch under resonant condition is minimum. So which is the resistance R. So mathematically, that series resonant frequency is expressed as 1 by 2 pi root LC. 1 by 2 pi root LC. So this is the frequency. We can also call it as series resonant frequency. And this frequency generates when XL equal to X, when the reactances of XL and XC are equal. And the second case, other resonant frequency, that is parallel resonant frequency, occurs when the reactance of series RLC leg equal to the reactance of the mounting capacitor. So when second frequency, when this response occurs, means when the reactance of this RLC leg or RLC path, reactance of this RLC leg is equal to the reactance of CM, then we can get the parallel resonant frequency FP. Okay, so under parallel resonance, the equivalent capacitance becomes C equivalent is equal to CM into C by CM plus C. So in the parallel resonant frequency, we can get two capacitances, CM and C. So the equivalent capacitance becomes CM into C by CM plus C. And the parallel resonant frequency FP is equal to 1 by 2 pi root L into C equivalent. Okay, so this is Fs. Fs is series resonant frequency, and it occurs when the reactances XL and XC are equal. And second frequency is parallel resonant frequency, and that resonant frequency occurs when the RLC leg reactance is equal to the reactance of mounting capacitor CM. And the mathematical expression for parallel resonant frequency Fp is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root L into C equal. Okay, so here we have two types of frequencies, Fs and Fp. One is series resonant frequency, second one is parallel resonant frequency, and these are the mathematical expressions in order to find out the frequencies. Okay, so next one, Pierce crystal oscillator. So this is already we have seen in the previous slide. So this type of oscillator is known as Pierce crystal oscillator. We have number of crystal oscillators, Miller crystal oscillator. Depending on the uses of the crystal in the circuit, we can classify the types of crystals. So this is one of the crystal oscillator, that is Pierce crystal oscillator. So the Colpitt's oscillator can be modified by using the crystal to behave as an inductor. So this circuit is called Pierce crystal oscillator. So here we have seen that up to this portion, if you observe the figure, so the Colpitt's crystal oscillator consists of, one basic amplifier, and in the feedback network, we have two capacitors and one inductor normally in Colpitt's oscillator. So if you compare the Colpitt's oscillator with this oscillator, in place of inductor, normally here we have inductor in the Colpitt's oscillator, but in this case, in place of inductor, we are using a crystal, and this crystal behave as an inductor at one position. Okay, so the Colpitt's oscillator can be modified by using the crystal to behave as an inductor. So this type of oscillator is known as Pierce crystal oscillator. So here the crystal behaves as an inductor for a frequency slightly higher than the series resonant frequency. So when the frequency of the crystal is greater than the or higher than the series resonant frequency. Series resonant frequency is Fs. When Fs will occur, when the reactances of XL and XC are equal, then we can get that type of resonant frequency. And this crystal frequency is greater than the series resonant frequency. Then this crystal acts as an inductor. And the two capacitors C1 and C2 required in the tank circuit along with an inductor are used as they are used in the Colpitts oscillator. Okay, so as we are using two capacitors, one inductor in the Colpitts oscillator, in a similar manner, here also we are using two capacitors, one crystal. Here the crystal acts or behaves as an inductor at one particular frequency, that is when the crystal frequency greater than the series resonant frequency, it behaves like an inductor. Okay, so as only inductor gets replaced by the crystal, which behaves as an inductor, the basic principle, working principle of Pierce crystal oscillator is same as that of the Colpitts oscillator. So here the difference between the Colpitts and Pierce crystal oscillator is only the crystal. In that case, we are using inductor. In this crystal oscillator, we are using crystal. So the basic operation, the basic working principle of crystal oscillator and Colpitts oscillator are same. Okay. Instead of using inductor, here we are using crystal only. So how the Barkhausen criteria is satisfied? So when the phase shift becomes 360 degrees, so that is here. Let us consider this is third terminal and this is first terminal. This is second terminal. Okay. So with respect to third terminal, 1 and 2 terminals provides 180 degrees phase shift, and the remaining 180 degrees phase shift will be provided by the CA transistor or basic amplifier. So hence we can get the total phase shift of 360 degrees. We can get the total phase shift of 360 degrees. So that is one of the condition of Barkhausen criteria is satisfied. So next condition is frequency of oscillation. So that is A beta equal to 1. When A beta equal to 1, we can get the oscillations at one particular frequency. So for the crystal oscillator, when we get the maximum frequency of oscillation, we know from the previous slide, we have observed that when we can get the maximum oscillations, when the AC voltage applied to the crystal is that is the frequency of the voltage is equal to the frequency of the crystal, then only we can get the maximum frequency of oscillations. Okay, we can get the maximum oscillations. So that frequency also called as resonant frequency. So here we are also studying two types of frequencies, resonant frequencies. These two are the resonant frequencies. One is Fs, one is Fp. So these frequencies occurs when XL equal to XC, we have one frequency, and when the reactance of RL select is equal to the reactance of CM, then we can get another frequency. Okay. So these are the mathematical expressions for the Fs, and Fp also same, but in place of C, we are using C equal. Okay, Fs is 1 by 2 pi root L, series resonant frequency. Fp is 1 by 2 pi root L into C equal. C equivalent is Cm into C by Cm plus C. This is approximately C only because it is very large compared to C. So that's why C equivalent is approximately equal to C only, and Fs and Fp is approximately equal. Those two frequencies are also equal max. Approximately those frequencies are equal. So this is about the crystal oscillator. Okay. So crystal oscillator means we are using a crystal in the oscillator. Okay, and this is the exact shape or natural shape of a crystal. We are not using the exact shape in the circuit. We are cutting the crystal by the use of two methods, and we are placing the shape of, that means we are placing the rectangular shape of the crystal in between two plates, in between two metal plates of the like a capacitor. Okay, so this is the schematic symbol, and crystal exhibits some piezoelectric effect. What is piezoelectric effect? Piezoelectric effect means when we are applying some mechanical stress, it generates some voltage or potential difference. When we are applying some voltage or potential difference, it generates some mechanical stress. That is, when we are applying voltage, it vibrates. When it vibrates, some voltage generate. Okay, so this is the circuit arrangement, and we have three types of crystal materials. Out of these three, we are using a quartz crystal because of the inexpensive nature and readily available. We can easily use. We can that means it is easily available. Okay, and next, how the operation. That means what is the working of crystal oscillator means. When we can get some maximum oscillations. When we can get some maximum oscillations, when we are applying some voltage, that means when the voltage at the crystal, the frequency of that voltage is equal to the frequency of the crystal, then we can get the maximum oscillations. And this is the equivalent circuit. And here we have two types of frequencies, resonant frequencies, Fs and Ft. These are the mathematical expressions for Fs and Ft. And this is one of the crystal oscillator, Pierce crystal oscillator, and it acts like Colpitt's oscillator. Instead of inductor, here we are using some crystal. And it behaves like an inductor when the frequency of the crystal is higher than the series resonant frequency. Okay, operation is similar. So thank you.